I'm Michael Perry, your Clubhouse manager. Today I'll be your bartender as we learn to make the Sazerac cocktail. Now the Sazerac cocktail is one of the oldest cocktails that we have. Some would argue that it is the oldest cocktail that we have. We'll never know for sure, but what we do know is that it originated in the 1850s in New Orleans, where it is currently the official cocktail of New Orleans. It was originally made with Sazerac cognac, but in the late 1800s there was a shortage of cognac, so we switched to using whiskey, specifically rye whiskey. In addition to the whiskey, we have two different types of bitters that we add in. We have Angostura bitters, which are very common, and then we have Peychaud bitters, which are a little bit unique. Peychaud bitters originated in New Orleans in the early 1800s, made by a druggist named Antonin Peychaud. These are specifically called for in the Sazerac and add a really wonderful level of complexity and bitterness to the drink. In addition to the bitters, we rinse the glass with absinthe, which adds a very pleasant licorice anise flavor, and we put a little bit of sugar in to balance it all out. The tools that we'll need to make the drink are a rocks glass, a mixing glass. You can also use a shaker. Today I'm using a heavy pint glass. You'll need a muddler. If you don't have a muddler, then the handle of a large wooden kitchen spoon would work well. A jigger or a measuring cup. If you don't have one of these, remember that 2 tablespoons equals 1 ounce. So you can use measuring spoons if you'd like. You need a long spoon. This is a bartender stirring spoon. You could also use an iced tea spoon. You could also use your large wooden cooking kitchen spoon. You'll also need a strainer. And finally, a peeler or a paring knife would also do well. For your kits, each of the kits comes with all the ingredients that you'll need, all pre-measured out. For the whiskey, you've got your 8 ounces of whiskey. Then we have both bitters and the absinthe. Now for the bitters, you have more than enough for the 4 cocktails, and I'll show you how to measure these out in just a second. You also have a lemon for the garnish and the packet of the raw sugar that we'll be adding in. So to make the cocktail, the first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna chill down our rocks glass. Fill it with ice, and then fill it with water. And then we set this aside. Chilled glass makes all the difference in a quality cocktail. Now to start actually building the cocktail, we're gonna start with a packet of sugar. Empty that into your glass. And then we're gonna add the bitters. Now to get the bitters, the recipe calls for 2 dashes of the Peychaud and 1 dash of the Angostura. For the little eyedroppers, it's very easy. Each eyedropper about 3/4 full is equal to a dash. So here's 1 dash, and here's 2. We do the same thing for the Angostura where we need just 1 dash. Get it about 3/4 of the way full. There's our dash. Now using the muddler, we're going to grind up the sugar with the bitters to help dissolve the sugar. This just takes a few seconds. Then we fill our mixing glass with ice. And now we're going to add in the rye. So we need 2 ounces of rye. There's 1. There's 2. And we use the large stirring spoon, and we're going to stir this for 20 seconds. This helps dissolve the sugar. This helps combine all the ingredients. This helps chill down the cocktail, and it also helps dilute the cocktail a little bit so it's not quite so strong. There. Now we take our iced glass, dump the ice water out, And now we're going to add in the absinthe to do the rinse. For this, I would recommend about 3 eyedropper fulls. 1, 2, 3. And now we're just going to roll the absinthe in the glass to coat the entire inside of the glass. Now, if you were making multiple cocktails, you could take the next glass and empty the absinthe in and repeat the same process. Now we take our strainer, strain our cocktail into our prepared glass. And then taking the peeler, we want to slice one nice wide, what we call a swath of lemon. Just like this. It's a little bit of the pith, but not too much. We can twist it over to get some of the oils into the glass. And then wipe the end of the glass. And hang our lemon. And there we go, the Sazerac cocktail. Enjoy.